Is it starting?
I think it's starting. I think this time we're actually it started and we're
Can you
doing
please give me a countdown when we're going to be live? Because I don't know yet.
Are we doing this bit again? Are we doing this bit again? Is that what's
Which bit?
happening? The bit
Can
where
we
we
go through
pretend
the
like we don't know we're live.
Can we go through the script again, please, before we go live?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Hello everyone. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm
Luke,
beautiful. Thanks for
I
asking.
feel like we're missing your statement.
What? Oh, the statement of
Yeah,
the opening.
the statement to the audience that's watching right now.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Welcome to another edition of the beautifully designed, produced Shadow News Confinement Special. Wow, it feels good to be back. Uh,
We
Ryan,
need some horn or something with that.
can you please hotkey that effects?
Yes,
I would love to abuse it.
it is on its way. All right.
It's called air horn, right, in English?
Oh yeah, air horn. Yes, in English.
There you go. I speak
Uh,
my English very well.
Super Thumbs has a very good feedback. Why not just put together some kind of countdown for the stream when it starts so that we know when we're live? It's not a bad idea.
That is also on its way. No, but really, it's I think
Oh.
in general the if we really want to answer the question, we're going to add that. I actually prefer to have that just dealing with an existing asset that will be changed over time, as well as some more fun things to come to the Twitch channel, as you'll see, especially in May.
Oh,
Can you give us a tease?
Ryan, you dirty tease. Just
Saying,
making me
just
so
saying.
excited. So what's up, guys? Hope everybody is doing well on this beautiful. I guess actually it's downpouring right now in where I'm at. It's raining very very hard. But hope all you guys are well. We are getting through this confinement slowly but surely. I'm not sure where you guys are, but in France they did announce some plans to slowly but gradually get out of this situation. So we are looking forward to that. Possibly in the near future, we might be in the office again. Maybe not. Probably not. But at least it's good to know that there's some progress. As a reminder, my name is Luke. I am the host of this beautiful show. I am with my friends Ryan in the U.S. Yes, haha! I tricked you. I started with Ryan today.
Yeah, that was a surprise,
I
actually.
already waved. That was embarrassing. Thanks,
In
Luke.
the U.S. and Malta, who is in Paris, but also in Germany.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're in two places at once. That's impressive.
Yeah, it's kind of my thing.
I'm impressed.
Mentally in Germany, physically in France. That's how it works.
Okay.
And I have to say I'm a little sad that no one noticed that I actually trimmed my beard.
That's a good point. I did not notice. I'm the worst.
I look so much better. No one says anything. Really?
Well,
Really?
now you didn't give them a chance to. You know, they've only.
Well,
Darrison did call you a diva. I think that goes well with your beard. So, goes well with
no, I'm gonna be playing this part of the partner that is just like feeling so bad right now that after such a long relationship, you still don't notice the smallest details about when I change my haircut or something.
They just don't care.
I'm just so mad. You should have, both of you should have noticed. Both of you, right? I'm disappointed, and I'm probably gonna leave the conversation right now.
Okay.
Okay.
It was good
All
having you.
right.
No. I think I'll
Well, thank you.
maybe we'll switch from Malta now that he's so hurt that we can talk to Shadow. I guess.
Okay, go ahead. Just brush it off and move on. Okay.
So on the schedule today, on the menu du jour, we have just a couple quick updates for you guys on activation storage. Nothing too major, just to give you guys a quick status check on that. And then we are going to talk about two of our programs, the student university program. Ryan will have a little update on that. We are going to show you also briefly a nice picture that we got from our VR exploration program. Plan on to talk about a little more in depth the next couple of weeks. And that's pretty much it for this week. Besides that, we have Shadow Gaming with Ryan. Ryan, what are you playing this week?
What happened there? What is this picture?
Hold up. So I'm a little bit learning it, but it's called Crashlands, which is a game that as of today went free on the Epic Game Store. And so as you all might have heard about it in some of the newsletters that went out yesterday. So as always, a big highlight is that last week we had delivered additional storage or made the feature available to all our markets, and at this point going forward, we wanted to celebrate that a little bit by showing what games you might be adding on there while also not having to spend any money. So I'm just going to check that game out. I was kind of a little bit personally curious about the art style as well as the combat, but no real idea what it is. But there is !Crashlands if you want to check
I
it
can
out.
give you, actually, if you're interested, a small dip into the development process, because I watched a very, very good games conference of the developer about that. It's very interesting how the game actually got where it was.
Mm-hmm.
If you're interested, I can give you a very small sum up. Right?
Okay.
So the game was created by a guy who was battling cancer, and there was like a 20% chance that he might survive. So actually not that high, but also very low.
Mm-hmm.
And he was doing that with his brother while he was in hospital throughout the whole development process. So this game helped him to overcome cancer. He beat cancer. He started a company called Shenanigans, and this game came out while he was battling cancer. So I think this is quite an interesting story. It's super nice.
Cool story. I appreciate you sharing that.
And the cool thing is you can play this game on your PC as on your mobile, because they have their own ecosystem. So if you buy it on a smartphone or something, not that you cannot already do this with Shadow anyway, but you can still do it like that. So back in the time when it was released, it was something quite flashy and new. So there you go.
Very nice. Thank you.
This guy, a gaming encyclopedia at our hands.
Right?
I love it. No, but seriously, that was really interesting. That was really cool. I just saw someone in the comment section just got the game. So thank you, Ryan.
Nice.
We're teaching people how to game on a budget. That's important.
Yeah. No, keep
It's
your
worth
eyes
it.
out there. Yeah, no, it's as always, like with the with the current situation, we're sure a lot of people, as we've seen the usage of Shadow increase, probably means you're getting through a lot of those games you needed to catch up on. So that's why we hope to keep finding you some to.
You mean that pile of shame?
We don't talk about that. Shame, okay?
Yeah, not just piles, not shame.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, this guy. This
All right,
guy.
on that note, I think it's time for the news portion of this segment. Now, as a reminder, get those questions ready. I know you got them copy and pasted somewhere on some on some kind of text doc. So get them ready, fired up. Get them greased up. Because we're not going to answer them now. We're going to answer them at the end of this segment when we go to the Q&A segment. So yeah, just always a little reminder on that. So here we are. Activations, as always, the first point of the news. Now, instead of starting Europe first, let's start US first.
What are you doing to me, League? No.
Let's get it a bit. So Ryan, how are activations looking in the US? Please tell me.
Yes. So as a reminder of it, I know, yes, it's kind of the context for the stream, but we mentioned it a lot. We had to adjust our services a lot with COVID-19, activation times being a key one of that. The reason for that, for those of you that are waiting out there, in case you missed our communications, was that our existing users have increased their usage due to these conditions. And for that, we needed to reassess how we manage everything. And so to do that, while also at the same time not adding additional load at an excessive rate, we've significantly slowed activation times down. Whereas typically when things are normal, we boast about our 1 to 3 hour activation time. With that being said, you'll learn that it's dramatically different. And I think we're at a comfortable estimation now of 5 to 7 weeks average per data center. Previously, we had said 4 to 6 weeks for some, 5 to 7 for some. However, at this point right now, we're projecting a 5 to 7 week average wait time. So best to think that if you subscribe today, June will be when you are activated. And if you're ordered, a couple weeks ago and you're really curious about it, look at your order date and then project 5 to 7 weeks based off of that. And then obviously, if you want to check in during these weekly streams, you can always do that to figure it out. And the last note, that could change at any moment, largely because we have teams actively looking at our data and sort of stopping and going accordingly to what each individual data center needs. But that's our positioning right now on it.
Thank you, Ryan. Now, Mr. Cash Money over there.
Sorry.
Can you tell me what's happening in Europe?
Definitely, I can try my best to do so, because there are good news for you, Luke, and the rest of the European community out there. Amsterdam, everything's fine, no worries. We're on track as last week, so no news there. But as they always say, no news is good news, right? And coming to Paris, so everyone that is in the Paris Data Center, which means people from France, Luxembourg, Switzerland, and the UK, right? All those peeps. Hopefully, as far as my information goes, these guys will be activated on Shadow Boost. All those guys who pre-ordered, that is, with an April date, right? And before that, of course. So if everything goes right, all of the people who ordered before April or have a date of April, there you go, will be activated until Friday, hopefully.
Exactly.
I cross my fingers for you guys. I wish you the best, because I know all of you have storage now and we don't.
Yes, the tables have turned.
A little bit, yeah.
Well,
okay.
I mean, there will be space enough, I think, for playing Crashlands in Amsterdam as well. So everyone, it's a good single player game. Get it, it's free, right? And if you cannot get it, just watch Ryan play it. He's amazing. He's a good player. He's a good gamer. You finish the game.
Whoa. Let's not gas up my skills too much, okay?
Have you seen this guy's skills playing? What was the name? Like this League of Legends thing, Crash Royale kind of thing, game where you're on a horse and stuff. Yeah, you nailed that one.
Did you? Oh, you mean Paladins?
Yeah. Oh god, how you nailed that one! Oh my god,
yeah,
that was amazing. I forgot you played with this streamer, like this Mark something. I forgot his name. Like
the famous Mark Watts guy.
Yeah, you carried this guy. You know, I remember. You are a beast.
Thank you, Malte. Even though you've set their expectations only to be disappointed, but it's okay. Hopefully they'll understand. I will say, for those that asked in chat what the game is, my keyboard just stopped working, I guess, so I can't type the correct command. It's !crashland, Crashlands, I think, which will provide you the link to the Epic Games Store where you can download the game for free onto your Shadow. As well as
now I don't know if it's Crashland. Yeah. Thank you, Kuba.
And for the record, real quick, let's say, like, I don't know how you are as gamers, but you can just go claim the license. So like, do that if you don't want to play the game right now. Like, why not build up that catalog?
That's what I do.
Great.
Good tip. Now, I think we also didn't mention that the people who were ex-Shadow users, like Pugsley or Ryday, who are also always on the stream with us, watching this and asking, they and everyone else in that group have been activated earlier this week. So maybe they're not. I'm not sure if they're on stream today. Maybe just because they're playing with on their Shadow now. Who knows? But we will miss them dearly, and may they rest in pepperoni. May they enjoy their shadows. That's all I got. Now, on to the next hot topic. We have additional storage. Additional storage in Europe, Malta.
Yeah, whatever.
Talk about on this?
No, definitely not. We're sold out. So basically, we're all on square one again, all together in Europe. So at least that makes me a little happy for everyone. You know, people got some storage, but now we all kind of have no storage. Just sad, but at least we're on the same level, right?
Yes, exactly.
However, we cannot say for now when there's going to be new storage, but we are, of course, looking into it and working on it. But yes, you guys know there's still Corona coming around, so shipments are going to be delayed. Shipments are going to be hard to get over. And as soon as we have news on that, we of course will tell you. But for now, we don't know when it's going to be new storage. So please be tied to our social media and our Discords. Put your eyes hard into it. and maybe even a newsletter, and you will know.
Yep.
Okay. So please don't ask us. I mean, you can ask us, but we have no answer except this, what I just said. Back to you, Ryan. Luke, Ryan.
Thank you.
Dodge.
And also a point is that if you did pre-order Shadow with additional storage and you haven't been activated yet, don't worry. We saved enough storage for you. And when you get your Shadow, you will have your storage on it as well. So
Is
don't
that a
worry.
pinky promise?
It's a pinky promise.
Ooh.
And if that's not the case, I will eat my shorts.
You better be.
Yeah.
So just real quick, as for you two, as a the streamer here, you should be really wary about clippable moments because they will hold you to it. Just warning
Don't-
you. Chat, am I
remind them.
wrong? Am I wrong,
Don't-
chat? Like,
What do you want to do if you have Batman on your side, huh?
oh, okay.
You want to fight about it?
See, okay, clip that. It's not because I prompted it at all. Totally not.
You know what? Bruce Wayne doesn't care what you say, right? He just buys your Shadow and does whatever he wants with it. Storage or not, okay? Whatever.
Where's Rachel?
Wayne is the hero we need at Shadow. That's what I think.
Yeah. And
Rachel!
real quick, I'll add in there. Maybe I missed this. My brain was all over the place. But exclamation mark storage FAQ will bring up the storage FAQ for those of you that have ordered, or maybe you're considering it and have some questions and want to get to know a little bit more about the details.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan. And now, Ryan, while you're still here, you want to give us an update on the storage on the US, please?
Yeah, so still readily available, was delivered last week. So obviously, we're monitoring the situation to see if we have an incident where we sell out in any individual data center. That's one key thing to keep in mind, as we've kind of talked about, is while we make services and other features available globally, because they do have local, what am I trying to say? Things change depending on what actual data center you're in, so your situation might vary based on that. However, our stance is generally global in delivering these things. So right now, the US has storage available, delivered last week. If you have any questions, the FAQ is the best place to go, as well as to just ask. And there is the clip, Luke. My point.
Yeah.
It was kind of my fault, though, on this one, I will say.
Well,
That's fine because I have confidence in my team.
Boom. Boom.
that's
So-
just how you roll.
Boom.
So thank
Yeah.
So
Your
thank
confidence.
I just
for that update on the storage in the US. Now, I did mention in the beginning of the news, or beginning of the stream, sorry, that there isn't really anything else to update you guys on. So I will go through the topics that you guys ask a lot of questions about to confirm that we have no information. Okay. Valorant.
Nice.
Valorant, no information. Same stats as last week.
exclamation mark Valorant. Sorry.
iOS nothing. We're still in talk with Apple. So no updates on this as well. Shadow Ghost, no updates on this as well. It's really the last news is the stuff I gave you guys. We gave you guys last week. Sir Amaras, not yet, not Q&A yet, but we're getting there. get that Command C, Command V ready though. It's gonna come quick.
Copy pasta.
So
Are you ready?
before we hop into the Q&A, we did want to quickly touch on our programs, and Ryan has a couple things to show you. Ryan, take it away, please.
Yeah.
Take us away.
Take me out. Oh no, I don't want to sing. Ooh, that was a bad idea.
was
So
close.
anyway, yes, I'll start with the Shadow University program. So for those of you, you've heard us talk a little bit about it, mainly because I keep telling you about it each week. But what it really is a program that we originally started in France, which is about connecting with the students, whether it's people that are already existing in our community and are going to school, college, or people that might be interested in it, or friends of those people. Getting everyone together to do some events and challenges that are centered around gaming. And so we've talked about that program. You can hit exclamation mark SUP in order to do it. However, we wanted to showcase a little bit. So with the US program, it's pretty brand spanking new. So things are rolling out and starting up. We've designed it such that if you join now, you can actually catch up on the challenges. You'll just kind of have a large burst of workload. But frankly, students, at least from my experience, are procrastinators. So I don't think we're not used to that at all. But to give you an idea of some of the things you can do, one of the first challenges that we had for the program was to create something shadow related in Minecraft. And this is, I believe it was I need to check, I think Team Revenant shared on Twitter recently, which is that bad boy right there. Now, we will just point out, I think they're blasting a different target with the laser beam there, as I kind of mirrored them for representation by putting it over that. And Luke, I know it's a little dangerously close to your face. Don't poke yourself on the edge there. But that is an example of the types of stuff that you can get some friends together. And the big question is, why do this? Because at the end, some people get some sweet Logitech gear, among other
Oh,
things. There's other things too, but that's like.
I also play Minecraft. Can I also get gear?
We can talk about it offline, man. Yeah, sure.
Dude, I'm playing such a good Minecraft round at the moment. I have no words.
It's okay. I've never really played it, but
I play on hard. I play survival on hard. People in the chat know what I'm talking about.
All right,
this is guy. Minecraft on hard, right?
This guy.
It's no joke.
But
it's no joke.
Okay, so let me I'll move a little bit further to show that. So we have this as an example of what the U.S. Shadow University program is, but we kind of wanted to show where it's at now versus what it can be later on. Specifically, we have the French program that is much more established because we are a French company, and so we've been doing this for a couple of years there. To give you an idea of where they're at, they obviously still do gaming challenges and fun other things, but sometimes we have different initiatives which they themselves self-lead, which is to say that we have this, which was more about when things were beginning and sort of accelerating in the initial early days of COVID-19, when everyone was sort of figuring out like what is actually happening. They rose to the challenge quickly in terms of not respirators, but masks, and did a challenge to see if people could add some shadow identity to their own mask that they would be using for going out in public. So to point it out, this is an example of that, something that's really cool, and mind you, was not us Shadow asking them to do so much as the students themselves created this initiative and really carried it out there. Luke, they really want you to eat shorts.
Is this the new thing now?
Yeah. Well, also you just joined the stream. Welcome. It was nice to have you. I don't know where you were this whole time, but it was good to see you enter. They're all saying hi.
I thought it was a halftime or intermission.
Yeah, we just got some nice advertisement there for face masks or something.
No.
They also now you can order them now in our shop.
I don't know about that one, but maybe one day.
I'm lying. Sorry.
My question is, who'll be the first person to put the promo code on a mask?
A promo code on the mask? That is actually smart. That is
smart.
I think was I supposed to go into the other I was supposed to go into the other VR program. It's not like I wrote the script or anything. So I did see some questions in the chat earlier about what's the status on the VR development. I have two things to show you. What I'll say first is okay. So the way I'll put it is we have a lot of things coming in terms of communications. All of the testing right now is very it's locked under NDA as a part of a closed beta. That's why you don't see or hear much about it. However, we as a company would not be true to our spirit if we did not share this journey with you. And so we've been working on plans for that. And so I can say that especially for the coming month, expect to see a lot more about VR, particularly what it takes to develop, who's all involved, what are some of the challenges and hurdles that might have caused problems, and anything in between there, while also really looking for what you all want to know about VR, right? Like, this is an exciting time. We're a bleeding edge technology that is now attempting an even crazier thing of putting VR in the cloud. And some of you that either aren't into VR or haven't heard about it or just don't care might be wondering, why would I want VR in the cloud? And for those of you that know about Half-Life Alyx, which is a beautiful game, it'll allow you to do this when you can have Shadow on VR, which is run a game as powerful as that through Shadow on your phone while connecting to your Quest. And this is actually what you can do now. This is a community user shared on Reddit. I should have put the name in. That was my bad. But we really appreciated seeing this because it really shows the power of the technology, which is why we're excited to sort of ease all of the steps that you currently have to go through to accomplish that.
That reminds me of that we actually also already had some footage of our VR experience on LinkedIn, right, Luke? I remember that you posted a video of one of our more famous faces, Victor, on LinkedIn while he was like working out on his pistol play, right? It was quite fun.
Playing like some kind of shooter game during a lunch break.
And he was actually playing on Shadow VR as well. So
yeah.
Just a real quick shout out to Smooner79, who did, I do remember the name because I thought it was both great and hilarious. Nutmeister was the name of the Reddit user right here. But again, beautiful setup for Nutmeister. 3 cheers for nuts.
I don't want to know how his November looks like. Pretty sad.
Oh god.
Not so much a Meister anymore. Only Meister then.
This guy. So yeah, I think honestly for the programs that's it. Other than saying that with the makers for the US, we don't have as much to share right now, but that'll change in the coming days or the coming months, weeks, whatever.
Make the transition, Ryan.
Cool. Thank you, Ryan, for an update on those programs. Anything else?
No, I think that's it for now in terms of communication around them.
Cool. So we will now move on to the Q&A section of today's show. I will ask you guys just to drop in chat a random noun, and then I'll make a choice on the first question based on this random noun you throw into the chat. You'll see why in a second.
Okay.
No, you have me at. Oh, I have a slight idea of what happens. Oh, please.
Noun. Sleep is a verb. Okay, unicorn.
Wait,
I like that one.
I got sleep last night. Could it be a noun? Oh my god. This guy.
Please.
So thanks to your unicorn, I am now a unicorn. So I appreciate that. Whoever said that, yes, that was the whole joke. Yes.
Wow,
Was this scripted?
Hilarious.
Was this scripted?
It's like improv shows, you know?
Did you
like, give us a word? Oh, catch up. Haven't heard that in a while.
Because I love it.
Okay, I like chicken. I can mess with the big chicken. Okay.
Nice.
All right, but on a serious note, we can take actual questions now.
Yep.
Yeah.
So have at it, you guys.
Bring it.
Do you guys know?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and just to note, guys, it's very hard for us to answer your questions that are personally impacting you, like whether it's an order, a status, additional storage missing from your account. We cannot help you from this stream. All we're going to tell you is to ask support.
Yes.
We don't have the tools, the knowledge, the power to know any of this. So we can give you a broad answer about a broad topic, like activation as a whole, but we can't give you an answer about your specific issue. So just a heads up on that.
I have one good question already, though.
Yeah.
I saw it a couple of times already while we were talking about something else. So there's a question from Xerox Dev, and I think there was someone else asking it before, or maybe it was just him all along. Asking, and this I have no real answer to. Maybe Luke, you heard more about it. It's concerning the IPs, and I think he's talking about Shadow Infinite in Gravlin.
Yeah.
Do you know when the IPs will be there? Because we said, if I remember correctly, beginning of April. Then we said end of April, and I think this is the very end of April.
And luckily, I said I would not eat my shorts for that one, so we're safe.
Your shorts are, you mean?
But for yes, that's a good point. And I actually wanted to bring it up during the news section. So if you have Shadow Ultra and Infinite and you're not in France, you have not received a localized IP address yet. You probably know this already. I heard from the dev teams that the network part has been implemented, whatever that means. And now we're waiting for our VM team to activate it. In terms of a timeline, right now I can't give any timeline out. I have no actual timeline. Just that it is being worked on. We are slowly going through the progress, but there is no timeline that I can communicate right now.
I saw a question that was VR related, and I think I can answer it. It was about what about Shadow as so that you could have it on your phone and use that as the VR screen rather than having to do it with a headset. The best way I can answer this, I think, would say that we have a lot of ambitious goals with the Shadow VR, far like beyond what you've seen currently, based on the what's capable. And so the way I can put it is when you're starting with what we know we can build, and plan to expand from there. But it's we noticed what obviously the community has been able to do with Quest as well as what we're able to do with particular devices, and so it's a matter of building the technology before spreading it across many places.
It's funny because I always when I look at the screen, I feel like Luke has been doing something, but it's just the chicken. So that was a little weird. There was another question concerning Ultra and Infinite in Gravelin, and that guy UK, for some reason, asked for UK and German users. So thanks for including us in your question. He asked why there seems to be an increase in latency issues at peak times. And this is a very complex question that is hard to nail down and pin down. So there might be several variables at cause here. It could be very local, like in your building, in your streets, or it could be very local at the data center. So I cannot give you a clear answer to that, sadly, right? I just hope that as soon as the corona crisis is getting a little lighter, we this will all go down again. We of course try to optimize from our side as best as we can, like our nodes and our data center when it comes to using them. But everything else, your local provider might also just be overloaded, right? This can very much happen. So, especially starting peak times, when all those people start watching Disney Plus, that's gonna be rough. Sorry.
Yeah, that's true. There's one question in particular that I think people have asked a couple of times here, which is the USB over IP on Mac. Do we have any updates for that? Obviously, thank you all for asking those questions. I know it's a particular pain point for our Mac users to not always see the devices they need, see random devices they don't have. Very strange. Anything that you guys are aware of?
From my perspective, no, there's nothing that I've heard of from any of the product or dev teams about this. I have seen the issue come up this week a little bit, but I don't have any hard information about if it's being looked at, if it's a widespread issue.
Yeah.
So I couldn't say.
I will confess I was slightly stalling because I had messaged someone over on our QA team about it actually. So to confirm that we are still at the point that we to reiterate what Luke said, like I literally just checked it live on Slack on my phone. The current but the QA lead definitely said that they check on it every week with the devs. It's a high top of mind issue. We know it's painful. We're not ignoring you. We want to fix it. We just don't have a date to give you yet, but we are on top of it.
Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate that as a nice gesture.
I'm sorry, I'm looking always to the side of my screen because my German community on Discord is just like wowing me all the time. It's like, oh my god, this stream is so boring. Can you please do something funny? So
Really?
shout out to my wow friends on the Discord here. Shout out my German friends. Liebe Grüße, yeah.
And real quick, also just to add back to the USB over IP on Mac, the same QA representative said, check our known issues article. That is going to be the best place where we immediately give feedback, as well as we'll generally communicate about it. But that is where he said the best place to be up to date on it will be.
I saw a question, Malta. Maybe you can answer it.
Hit me.
Will Shadow work better on 5G?
Well, there's no comparising there, so that's hard for me to say. So I would say probably. Compared, like if you would run it on a toaster line or something, probably. Better on, I don't know, what?
Well, better than 4G.
Better than 3G, probably. Better than 2G and 1G. Well, Summit 1G?
Yeah.
Shout out to Summit 1G at this point. Please tell them we said hi.
But we do expect, I mean, we're hypothesizing here, but we do expect that Shadow on 5G will be pretty nice in terms of experience, because
sorry, we can already say that because we already had some fairs back in 2019, I think, where we shared a booth with bigger mobile operationer. How do you say that? Mobile operation?
Or it's more of a we had a booth with Oppo and OnePlus.
And also with the French one, Orange, I think.
Yeah, Orange as well. But I think 5G as a whole is still in a very nascent stage. It's a very early stage, so it's hard to tell the potential of it. It has to be in a really controlled environment. But from what I've seen, and from the specs I've seen of 5G, Shadow should run really well on it. It has a lower ping, higher bandwidth. So a recipe for a great experience on Shadow. So that's all we can say for now.
Be careful, however. I heard there's a huge connection between coronavirus and 5G, right? So don't stand too close to a 5G emitting antenna, right? Because it gives you corona. And as long as you don't put your alufoil tin hats on, right, then you're fine.
Yes, exactly.
Just be careful when you go out there. You notice the vibration in the air when you get close to one. Just try to sense it, right? It's like spidey senses, but different. But you'll notice. Trust me. Get your tinfoil hat.
This guy.
I see Death King 97 asking a really good question. Is Shadow Ultra and Infinite still scheduled for late summer, or has it been pushed back due to the current pandemic? And good question. We haven't answered that yet. Right now, as it stands, we are still on track to meet the end of summer deadline that we announced. And if we do have any news or updates regarding that, and this is for Europe, I might add, for Europe I'm talking about, we will of course let you know as soon as possible. But right now we are still on track, and that's all I got. Anything else that I missed on that one, Malta?
Sorry, I'm not listening. I'm writing at the moment.
Yeah, that's fine. Don't worry about it.
Sorry. Just can you give me a sum up, like a TLDR? How do you say TLDR for something in a speech? Too long, didn't listen?
TLDL.
TLDL? Give it to me.
What I was saying was that we are still on track for the end of summer activations for Shadow Ultra and Shadow Infinite, for those pre-ordered ones in Europe.
Yeah, late summer I heard. Yep.
And that's it. Right now, there's nothing else to report. And if we do have anything else, we will let them know.
Yeah, exactly. Either it's on this part, like on this show, or it's on any of our other multiple outlets.
Yep. Ryan, any questions?
Yeah, well, so there's a couple. I think one that would be probably, I think, more Malta, but I'll go with the one that I had first. which I just saw, which was when will Ultra and Infinite be available for the US? It says what time next year. I assume that means that you're looking at like particular data centers. The best way that I can answer is we are launching Ultra and Infinite in limited volume launch in the US in summer of this year, with later availability targeted for like the rest of the year. However, I think on the web page, we might have a broader projection. I think it's more so just to level set expectations. But really, we have a really aggressive goals because we know how excited the community is about Ultra and Infinite. And we want to just make sure that we're able to deliver to it because it was already a tough challenge in terms of what we're trying to accomplish with our services. And now adding in the global situation, we just want to set expectations accordingly going forward, while also still promising, what we truly believe we can deliver. Yeah. Oh, the question for you, Malta, I think was from James Koala Bear. And maybe it's just a general one, but he says, I have Shadow via Proximus, my internet provider. Will I be able to add, order more storage and or upgrade to Ultra Infinite?
Wow, that's a question like for someone specialized in this particular case, because Proximus, again, is a very, very specific case that I can't talk about at all. Luke, maybe do you have any ideas who he could contact on this specific case? I don't know.
So that's a question for support. Off
I
the
would
top,
have guessed, yeah.
No, it's a very specific question. We have a dedicated project manager for that deal, that bundle deal. So I really could not tell you, and I don't want to give you any wrong information. So I'd recommend either contacting our support or Proximus' support. They might have a better idea than us.
Just in case all the guys who don't know, Proximus is like I think one of the leading or the leading ISP in Belgium.
Exactly. Yeah.
That we have a package deal with, right, in Belgium.
Yep.
Yep.
See a question from Noble Noble Ace, asking about Shadow Ghost. So there is no update. It's the same status as last week, but we do hope that they will soon. That's it. And just for context, the status update last week was that they are still in China in the factory, and we're still waiting for them to fully reopen so that we can get those babies shipped to France, and then get them shipped out to you guys. And please rest assured that when we do have information, we will communicate it on Discord, on Reddit probably, in our newsletter, and here. So you will know about it when it's coming.
Yep, exactly. I think they should even receive a shipment email as soon as it goes out from our place here, right?
Yes, they should have shipping information with tracking info and all that good stuff.
Yep. So does Shadow support multi-monitor? And will there be extra SSD storage? Because I prefer SSD over hard drive. It's like 2.5 questions right there, Ryan. What do you say?
With which one? Whoa. The SSD one? Yeah.
No,
so
okay.
the Shadow support monitor? Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, there you go. From Minnesota.
So I'm gonna go with 3 questions. All right, it's gonna be crazy. So does Shadow support multi-monitor? Not currently. There is an alpha screen or dual screen feature available in alpha. It requires 2 devices currently. It is in alpha because it is an experimental feature. If it is going to be moving forward, like significantly in any way, expect for us to communicate around it. You can play around with that feature. However, as we mentioned, there's a lot of different areas that we're trying to build out with Shadow and things that we're trying to accomplish. And so we have to prioritize them accordingly. But we are well aware that it will be super exciting when we can get to a point, if it's possible, to have multiple screens. As far as for the SSD storage, we understand the preference for SSD in terms of speeds, but at this rate, we don't have any times or updates to share about any of that. Right now, our main thing was delivering additional storage with infrastructure that made sense based on the Infram team that is much smarter in that area than I'll ever be. And so, but I can say that in general, we are always going to be looking to improve the service, you know, day after day, month after month, year after year. And there's no reason I see why that. We just can't promise anything. And then I think there was another one about, do you guys know anything about why Boost does not allow 4K res on, I think this is X4 or Red Dead Redemption 2 by instructor Phil?
I mean, it's not like it's not allowing that. It's just that we do not recommend it in terms of the rig is powerful, but it might not be powerful enough to give you the best experience in 4K. So it's not forbidden. It's just not a recommendation, right? So if you want to play 4K properly, we recommend at least Shadow Ultra or Infinite, right? So it's not forbidden. Please go ahead and play, right?
Yep, and I think that's a good testament to why we're so excited about delivering on Boost, Ultra, and Infinite as being 3 widely available tiers to everyone. It's a goal right now where we'll end up, but the idea is there are some people that want to play Red Dead Redemption 2 in 4K, and there's other people that maybe just want to play a game on their phone when they're lying on the couch, and some people anywhere in the middle ground, or some people's PC that's about to die and they need it, right? So like we have all these different types of gamers and PC users out there, and so we are just trying to provide offerings that will enable you. Right now, we just can only offer the Shadow Boost to everyone.
I think he's going more into detail here. I'm not sure. I think you might want to try to use the NVIDIA panel and change the resolution yourself or edit if necessary. And the as it called NVIDIA control panel, right?
Yep. They have the NVIDIA control panel as well.
You just add the 4K there, and I think it should be working.
Yep.
So as Cat of Sucks is already talking to you about it, that's the way to go.
Yeah.
If it still doesn't work, please check with the community because they're the best.
Yeah.
They're not so much better than me.
My sorry, go again, Luke. The thing overspoke you.
Oh no, go ahead.
Yeah, all I was gonna say is my immediate jump was to more like if you had been frustrated around the quality, but if it's a matter of actually setting it up, we have articles available in our help center that talk about resolutions. We have an incredible community that is brilliant in a billion different ways that we encourage you to leverage every day if you can.
Yep. And we would not, from our side, restrict it. As far as I know, there's no such thing, right?
That'd be opposite with us.
Yes, we like the opposite of restriction. Why would that be? Stream of freedom.
Stream freedom. Stream freedom.
There was some other question. Wow, this is a lot of spamming here from Mr. Nightbot. I think we should ban this guy.
Well, that one is mainly because I haven't figured out a neat way to put all of the Discord links in one command.
Really?
Yeah. Can you not just do like little flags or something for the language?
You know what? I will take your feedback and pass it along to the devs.
So. Can you have a little box where I can put my feedback in?
Yes, you can.
Okay, cool. Nice.
Cool. Any other questions? I see maybe a couple trickling in.
Can you use another cloud gaming server with a shadow PC like GeForce Now, PlayStation Now, or Stadia? As asked by Animesona.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a quick answer to that, if I understood it right. I have one person in the office who's been playing PlayStation Now on his shadow because he does not have a PlayStation, and he really, 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 really wanted to play the new, what's his name? The game with the God of War. So I played it, like he made a streamception, right? And it worked, and he played it, and he said it was fun.
Yeah. I
would. Through.
Yeah, no. I would say in general with the other services, whereas obviously our priority is always to offer what Shadow is capable of, which is anything you can use a Windows 10 PC for. What you're able to accomplish that as long as it's within the terrains of the terms of use. We love to see it. We know we've seen articles about some of the other providers or services that people have done tests of using them on Shadow. And honestly, if you just go to Reddit and type something like, X on Shadow, I guarantee you'll find at least three threads, because I'm pretty sure I've seen 3 this month. So, yeah.
That's another good question for Luke here, because someone wants to know how random the activations really are. Do you really want to go into the secret of how they throw the darts, or?
I mean, now that you mention it, so our devs sit around, and there's a big dartboard with all of the data centers all over the place,
Okay.
and they put a blindfold on,
Okay.
spin 5 times,
Uh-huh.
and then toss the dart onto the board with your name on it, and then they see where you land,
Okay.
and which data center you get, and which time you get, which date you get.
Okay.
So it's quite random.
But safety precautions say that everyone else has to leave the room while throwing the dart, right?
Yes, or
Okay.
you have to wear protective gear. So it could be a helmet and a face mask.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for clearing up, though.
But Nash, I hope you obviously you know that we're joking.
Or are we?
Where are we?
Typically, in regular activations, it is done first in, first serve. There are very rare cases where we will activate somebody, like for example, for the initial batch of Ultra and Infinite. That was another story. But typically, it is first in, first out, first in, first served. So it's done by a timing basis based on your order.
I just wanted to address one that wasn't really a question, but it was a point about the Valorant anti-cheats and Shadow, which is just going to say that again we've seen similar things like this nature where a game in beta particularly is not capable of running on Shadow. So actually this is far unsurprising. It's just such an exciting game that I think there's a lot of excitement about that. But for you, Zappum, we don't we don't have an update or anything to promise other than that our teams are like working on it and talking with the right people, but the it's in beta, so that's a big difference.
Yeah, and to reiterate on that, we've had similar problems with similar games that were in beta, and when they came out of beta, they were working on Shadow. So we are anticipating something similar to happen with Valorant. I mean, at least we're hoping that it will happen.
Yeah.
Yes.
There was a question about. Sorry, do you have one?
I don't know. Maybe you had the same one. I wanted to say Luigi, but it's not Luigi. Someone else said.
There was one, that guy UK that has asked us multiple times why Infinite does not have a 5 gigahertz CPU like a gaming PC. I honestly don't know. Just to address that question, I don't know. The devs spec the tiers based on their research, and that's what we came up with. But I don't have a good answer to that question. Do you guys have anything else to add?
Yeah, I think this guy's trolling.
No, I think to a degree, when it comes to the matter of the CPU, like we're obviously monitoring all feedback as a part of this rollout being a bigger, broader thing. It's new for us, and so we need to be mindful of it. But at the same time, we mentioned a lot as CMs, like, oh, we talked to all these people with these different ways that they use Shadow, but the data teams that we have can drill in ways that we simply cannot. And that those teams are the ones that are powering a lot of these decisions. But again, that comes with in mind of how can we open as many options to as many people with our infrastructure. So, yeah, and we'll be monitoring feedback as they get delivered and go on, long past the date of Ultra Infinite launching in all regions.
Thank you.
And Simple made another good point. You also have to remember that we're actually not having single gaming PCs in our data centers, right? So there's not like, I don't know, billions of little, how do they call big cases of PCs, right? We're actually using server hardware, so they might be working a little different. Thanks for that, Simple.
Yep. So let's take a few final questions because we have reached the top of the hour.
That was the last one from Luik, 1987, which I still want to call Luigi or Green Mario. He asked Ryan, when are we going to Mexico?
When to Mexico? Is that, yeah, I guess. Oh yeah, North America. So I'll just say this. I think there was people earlier in the audience about Canada as well. So I'll just kind of do a sweeping thing. Right now, over here on this continent, our focus is on the U.S. Right, we've launched the Explorer states to make it so that we're available in the continental states. Like there's no need to say that those are like we call them Explorer states. We're exploring with a purpose, right? So there's logically another place to follow after that. But more broadly speaking about Canada and Mexico, we don't have firm plans to share this time. Some of you Canadians might have interacted with me as we did like sort of evaluate some things, but really it's more about being strategic with what we can accomplish based on our size, while also prioritizing the right things for our community.
Yeah, exactly. And we don't want to bite off too much that we can chew. What's that saying again? We don't want to bite off.
What is
I mean, actually, we do, but we chew a little at the moment still. So let us just get some air.
Right? No, I just stupid, but I tried to make a cool expression, but forget it.
Like a good German one, you mean?
There's a lot of good German ones.
You told me yesterday you had this very good German one. What was it again?
Something about the forest and leaves.
Oh wow, I don't remember. You had a very good one. You said you use it every day. I don't remember which one it was. So guys, if you have any good German proverb you want Luke to use, just spam it right now. I'm sure there's some good ones.
Me too. I want to bite off and you can chew. Yes, thank you, Super Thumbs. Yeah. I appreciate it. That was not a good look on my part. Yes, make like a tree and leaf. That's a great one too.
Oh
yeah.
So let's take one final question and then we will transition to the legendary Shadow Gaming by Ryan.
Legends of Ryan.
I'll just with V Ganmer, webcam recommends with Shadow. I know a lot of people are doing Zoom calls and stuff. I don't have any. I haven't necessarily done any specifics like what I would recommend for Shadow specifically yet. I haven't thought there personally, but generally speaking, I think I personally have the Logitech 920, which is a pretty solid webcam, kind of the standard within like the starting for like streamings or general video recording. That's a great model.
Just be aware, whatever you plug in at home that is hardware to your Shadow is dependent on your upload speed, right? So please remember that the cam will not be uploaded from your Shadow, but the other way around. So it can, like, it's relying on your upload speed, right? So if you have like a 4K camera and your upload speed is not good, you're gonna have a bad time to create a home here, okay? To quote a meme, right? So be aware of that. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, it's super intensive on your bandwidth, so that's just necessary. Nope.
I see a question from Press Play Music. He ordered Shadow Boost a few weeks ago, and then he said that he's been waiting on the waiting list. Wait. Then, since you changed subscribe to pre-order for waiting list, will the user be charged until then, as I haven't revealed an email saying Shadow is ready? So what I think he's asking is he being charged for the time he waits for its activation? Is that what I understand? Do you guys understand as well?
Yeah, I think that's the general idea. If like, yeah, has to do with money mainly.
Okay. So in that case, you are not charged for waiting for your account to be activated. Your billing cycle is adjusted based on the date that you are activated. So you are not losing money while being activated. You're not being scammed by us that I know of.
Yeah, the way that I typically best put it is any initial payments is a matter of reserving your line in the queue, right, for activation, generally
Sounds
speaking. So that's the way that we do it. It is refundable if you need to go that route, but really it's more about reserving your spot in line.
Yep, I think it's a good way to put it, Ryan. All right, well, that does it for this week. Thank you guys. I really appreciate you guys coming out here every week to watch us three talking heads talk about nothing and make awful jokes. But so really, thank you for coming out and watching that. We will be back next week, I think. I'm not sure if Sultanis was here.
I did
Sultanis, if
not
you're out
see him. Yeah.
there, we tried to do the King of the Hat stream this week. We did a lot of research into it. We wanted to see how we could do it, but there were some issues. But we want to make it happen, and we're gonna do our best to make it happen just for you, Sultanis.
Yes.
I love you.
I have one last request before we leave, Luke.
Yes.
So there was one question from Hiccups 1980 for you to pronounce the German word, and I would love you to try it
Oh man,
as a potato.
as a potato. Well, I need. Where's the
Because we're
word?
the country of potatoes, and you should try it.
Where's the word?
Can you please repost Mr. Hiccups?
I think I've seen it. Oh, I see it. Oh man.
Because and Ryan can probably help you out with that. It's a simple one.
It's like
I'll not help. I need the potato first.
Überlegenheit. Oof. No. Oof. Ooh. Ah, that was bad. That hurt my soul. That couldn't have been good.
So this is not just any potato. This is the Tiger King potato.
Oh, there we go. I actually want that one now.
I'm actually getting hungry now.
I didn't pronounce the word. Überlegenheit.
Oh my god. Okay.
Did I butcher it?
Banana?
No. It was close.
It's
close. You're close. Actually, it's quite good.
Okay.
All right, that's good. Okay, cool. I'll say it once more. You try again. It's called Überlegenheit.
Ah, damn it.
Überlegenheit.
The Ligen part I did not get.
All right, try again. King of potatoes.
Überlegenheit.
Oh my God! Look at this guy. He's a real German potato now. I'm so happy.
Yeah, thank you, Simple. All right. Well, on that note, I think. Shall we?
Yes. We shall. Hiccups, thank you for the German lesson. I really appreciate it. I will put it in my vocabulary. And I will hope to whip it out next time I see you.
It means super messy, by the way.
Oh,
perfect.
Rip.
It's so me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a king.
But yeah, so just to go on that, for everyone that's been asking about if the Shadow news was on Shadow, no, it wasn't. But the Shadow gaming that's about to happen, just after a short break, will be. I'll be playing Crashlander, which is going to be the free game or one of the free games from Epic Games Store right now.
All right, thank you guys, and until next time, stay safe.
Have a good one. Bye bye, guys.
Bye bye.